Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I've been talking about this story, about Sade Robinson. Young lady, 19 years old, has tragically lost her life out there in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Shout out Milwaukee, by the way. And this is a deep tragedy, man. This woman was 5 feet tall, 135 pounds. She was a small girl. You're looking at this guy that supposedly took her life, Maxwell Anderson, 33 years old. He got some size on him. Now, I mean, as far as dating somebody or meeting a woman, men are usually bigger than women. So I don't want to bring that up, but just what goes on in my head about this whole situation before I really get into this story, which is about him. At 19 years old, and he's 33 years old, what can this woman do when dealing with somebody like this? You know what I'm saying? A man of his stature and age. You know what I'm saying? The older you get, the stronger you get, for the most part. And I want to talk a little bit about this dude. I think this guy is opportunistic, and he's a modern day psychopath. Like, a lot of people don't know what a sociopath, not a psychopath, a sociopath. A lot of people don't know what a sociopath is. This guy right here is a sociopath. See it in his behavior and in his actions, ways and actions since he's been caught. And I'll talk a little bit about some of that stuff in here. Like, a lot of people, I did that first video and it took off, and thanks for everybody who took the time to watch the video, but I'm going to speak about something, and a lot of people ain't going to like it, but I'm going to say what I got to say, man, because a lot of people, on my channel, people have a voice, but some of them comments is dead wrong. Now, I don't take comments down like that, but some of y'all need to be ashamed of yourselves for what y'all said about this young lady, and that's real. Let's jump on this story, and I'm going to come back and address that as well. Take a look, man. May this young lady rest in peace.
News' Kendall Keys continues our live team coverage from the Milwaukee County Courthouse. Kendall.
High drama in the courtroom. Robinson's family audibly upset during Anderson's appearance. Tonight, he's being held on $5 million bond. 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson entering a Milwaukee County courtroom wearing an orange jumpsuit and a scowl.
Do you understand the maximum potential penalties?
Yes, Your Honor.
Maximum penalties, including life in prison. Prosecutors charged Anderson with first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and arson. The criminal complaint confirms his victim, 19-year-old Sade Robinson.
The allegations in the complaint are abhorrent. It is the highest level of violence imaginable.
Prosecutors outlined text messages between Anderson and Robinson, detailing what would be their first date. Let's eat at Twisted. I'm feeling seafood. Yes, I love seafood. Sounds good. I'm about to leave. I'll be there soon.
They went to Twisted Fisherman, and then they went to Duke's on Water Street, and then returned to his home around 9:20 p.m. And sometime between that time and the early morning hours of April 2nd, the defendant killed Sade Robinson and dismembered her body intentionally, left pieces of her body in various parts through the county.
Anderson's attorney argued the state didn't have enough evidence to support the first-degree intentional homicide charge.
With respect to showing probable cause that this defendant, that Maxwell Anderson, intentionally killed the victim, that he did so, I think it's lacking.
The judge set a $5 million bond and ordered Anderson not contact Robinson's family. Family like Sade's mother and uncle, distraught after the hearing.
The sick son of a hurt my baby. She hurt nobody. She harmed nobody.
My sister and parents won't stop shaking, and it ain't because they're nervous. Imagine trying to bury your niece with no body for the service.
A breaking hearing from that family. Kendall, the criminal complaint does not mention whether Anderson admitted to the crimes. Did he speak in court at all?
Only answering the court commissioner's question, confirming he understood the maximum penalties. We did ask the Milwaukee County Sheriff if he was talking to investigators. All she would say was that he had retained a lawyer.
Guys, you see the text messages that they showed. So they did go out on a date. That was, it's evident now. But I'm going to tell you something. Two things. Number one, they said this is the most extreme violence you can commit on a person. Right? Said the crime was aberrant. Also said this, number two. He knowingly chopped this woman up and took her life. Did you hear the defense lawyer? There's not enough evidence to say he willfully killed her. So what happened? He did something to her. She just fell to pieces. No pun intended. I can't stand defense lawyers sometimes. They sound stupid. And there's always some kind of goofy ass stipulation in the law that allows this kind of stuff to hold up in court. He should not have no court, no trial. He shouldn't. And it sounds stupid. A lot of people go, oh, our country's not founded on this. Listen, when you got somebody dead to rights, why are we even playing charades? Playing this masquerade? See his goofy behind come up in there? Real stupid. Whole family there. They should have turned him over to them. Got this man, the uncle in there speaking spoken word. You know what I mean? To express his dissatisfaction with the case. Man, come on, man. Come on, man. They need to let these people, turn these people over to the people they hurt the most, besides the person that ain't here, the families. And if I had a chance, if I had a choice, you'd see that. I'm sorry to be a little bit off here, but I'm trying to see something real quick. Now, I told you guys, this guy was a sociopath. He has sociopathic tendencies. You see the goofiness and awkwardness with him? You see it with a lot of serial killers. I don't know what this woman saw in him, but she saw an opportunity for herself. And this guy, being an opportunistic predator, he saw the opportunity to strike. See, everybody talk, a lot of people talk about, like people said it was her fault and stuff like this. And I'm not feeling that. I'm going to tell you why. It's a big difference between 33-year-old a person in the mind than a 19-year-old. She still ain't even experienced life yet. Hell, she ain't even a lawfully legal adult of adult age. So I'm not even going to put nothing on her like that, especially with what happened. Look at this. These are the traits of a sociopath. Lack of remorse, but guilt and empathy may be present in some cases. See how he was in the courtroom? Didn't look at nobody, came in there with a scowl on his face. Stupid. Stupid. Some emotions are felt, rage, but are shallow and fleeting. May form close attachments with one or a few individuals. Consistent irresponsibility, repeated violations of law. I'm going to show you another video real quick that talks just about him and why this piece of crap should have never been out in public anyway, because the patterns was there. His family tried to help him. You seen that a while ago in one of the videos I did, but this guy right here, in my opinion, has no right after what he did to that young lady to sit up there and keep his mouth closed and not tell where the rest of the body is. You look at him run this country, man. I'm telling you. You see something you ain't never seen before, and we have a shift in about 3 months. The whole country be different. Aggressiveness and reckless behavior. Check out this video.
He's a Milwaukee bartender now at the center of an investigation into a severed leg. 12 News Investigates is learning more about Maxwell Anderson, including what law enforcement sources tell us they found in his basement.
Anderson has not been charged. At the same time, 19-year-old Sade Robinson has been missing for 10 days.
Police say she was last seen April 1st with her burnt car later found near 30th and Lisbon.
This past weekend, investigators discovered human remains near 31st and Galena over 3 consecutive days.
Now, this is the second place a body part was found in Milwaukee County in a week. That severed leg was found in Warnemont Park in Cudahy on April 2nd.
12 News' Hannah Hilliard is live outside Anderson's home near 39th in Oklahoma. And Hannah, you've been looking into his past all day long.
Yeah, Joyce and Patrick, and we have uncovered a lot, including Anderson's ties to Waukesha County and what sources are telling us investigators found inside this home exactly 1 week ago. This is the man behind bars, but not yet charged.
In the interest of Maxwell Stephen Anderson.
Appearing in court in connection to a case that's captivated Milwaukee. Who is Maxwell Anderson? We know he's a Southside resident whose house at 39th in Oklahoma was searched by investigators 2 days after someone found a severed leg on the Lake Michigan shore in Cudahy. 12 News has confirmed the 33-year-old man has ties to Waukesha County, attending Kettle Moraine, Catholic Memorial, and Pewaukee high schools in the early 2000s. Anderson has a criminal record, a 2014 misdemeanor disorderly conduct conviction in Waukesha County after an incident with a family member in Delafield, and in 2015, a misdemeanor domestic violence case out of Door County. For the last few years, he's worked at several Milwaukee bars.
He works full-time,
including The Rave from 2018 to 2020, most recently working at Victor's nightclub on the east side. A woman who claims she met Anderson there spoke to 12 News by phone, but asked not to be identified out of fear for her safety. She says he once invited her to his Southside home.
I remember there being something about a hole in the yard, and this was back in fall. I remember asking about it, and he was like, oh, I'm building a garden.
In a view from News Chopper 12,
all right, that looks like a hole there, actually.
A gaping hole next to Anderson's house was visible earlier this week. Inside the home,
and when I got in, it just kind of seemed like he was in the middle of a whole bunch of renovations, but kind of seemed like the kind of guy that never would finish them.
Thursday, 12 News learned from multiple law enforcement sources Anderson had what is described as a sex dungeon in his basement.
So I got a little bit of a tour, and he was like, do you want to see the basement? And I was like, no, I'm okay. He's like, it's creepy down there. And I was like, no, that's okay.
Now, Hannah, Anderson hasn't been charged, but is still being held after almost a week in jail.
Right, Joy. So the court did give prosecutors an additional 72 hours to either charge Anderson or release him. Those 72 hours run out tomorrow morning. We will, of course, be sure to stay on top of any developments and bring them to you as they happen on air and online.
Hannah Hilliard live in Milwaukee. And as we have been reporting, that 72-hour hold on Maxwell Anderson expires tomorrow. We asked legal expert Craig Mastantuono about what could happen next.
If he's released, that doesn't stop prosecutors and police from continuing to gather evidence and potentially charge Mr. Anderson at a later date. In other words, tomorrow's not a dismissal or move forward date. It's a move forward with a complaint or release the suspect.
As that's the video now. You're noticing these different videos I'm putting together. Some are before or after he got that $5 million bond. So like some of the news is a little bit off, but you get the idea of what I'm talking about with this tragedy that happened. And like I said, I do feel for the family, especially the ones that were in the courtroom. The mother, I feel for. But I'm going to tell you something. This guy right here has no strong morals and conscience. You see it in his face. You do. Crimes like this that are extreme need extreme punishments, like I said before. And they also demand explanations. This guy would talk. And we would get the true meaning of why he did what he did to her. Now, they said he was a bartender, right? Why you ain't getting none of them raggedy ass hoes out of them bars you work at? This girl worked in a pizza place, but you targeted her. This guy's an opportunistic predator. See, a predator preys on people that they think are weaker than them. But this in the body or the mind. This girl ain't nothing but 5 feet tall. This man, I don't even know how tall he is, but I mean, he got some size on him. You can see it. He's at least my height, 5'9", 5'10". You know what I'm saying? That 9 inches of height is a hell of a, advantage when you're overtaking somebody, especially a woman. This guy right here had a deliberate plan, and this young lady fell into it. And I'm not going to blame her as if she saw this coming or she knew that this was going to come. The reason why I bring that up is this, man. My channel, a lot of new people visit my channel all the time. I tell everybody has a right to speak and say their opinion. But some of the stuff y'all are saying in the comments, man, is very disrespectful. And it's discrediting towards this woman and her family and what happened to her. A lot of y'all bringing race up in it. That's your point. I think this guy right here was a serial killer in the making, and it didn't matter what race he was, that this girl was, because anybody would have got it when this guy felt like giving it to somebody. And that's the gift of death. She just fell into this position. See, the one thing about when you bring race up in things a lot of times, make sure you know what you're talking about. Because racism in every country, the definition and how them people think about it varies. I'm from New Jersey. My definition of racism is way different than somebody from Jackson, Mississippi, Mobile, Alabama, Shreveport, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It's different because what? Our experience and culture in each different state is different. So to make these things, these statements about a woman that was dismembered, and I barely got a chance, so I've been just pumping these videos out. I barely got a chance to take a look at the comments, but some of the comments y'all said, man, is messed up. Oh, she's dark skinned. No black guy would want her. And come on, man. Come on. Oh, that's what she get for messing with a white guy. What? Come on. People like who they like. People gonna be with who they be with. That don't mean it has to result in death. I mean, everybody has a voice on here, but some comments, man, need to be kept to yourself. If that's how you really feel. It don't help the situation, and it don't, it doesn't benefit anybody. And if anything, it really puts you out there as somebody that's crazy. I mean, if that's what you want to be seen as, by all means. But I mean, on my channel, man, I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Because my only issue with this whole thing is this guy, in my opinion, deliberately set this girl up to do what he did to her. Because I think, honestly, this been on his mind for a while to do this. See, people have a thirst for destruction, and a lot of times they don't care who it is. They just want to see if they can catch anybody in their web. And I think she was the one that got caught. And I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, think about this. So you got to look at this different angles, man. People bringing up race. And when I seen this story, I said, okay, I know where this is going to go. People bringing up race, right? What if his parents raised him not to be racist or anything like that? What if, just hear me out, I'm just talking. What if you switch the races on the victim and the victimizer, the suspect? Think all the comments will still be the same? Sometimes we need to check our hearts before we have things come out of our mouth. But anyway, guys, this woman is an attractive lady, young lady. She's a pretty girl. And that's one of the main reasons I'm like, yeah, she's a pretty girl. Seemed like she was a sweet girl. And some of these negative comments about her, man, she's chopped up, man. Have some respect. Or she's the victim. Regardless of whether you think it's her fault or not. I mean, love, pain, suffering, stress, universal, and everybody's feeling. You don't think his parents is feeling the embarrassment and shame? Think about that. We never put that into perspective. We think like these monsters just come out and they just here and they don't have no attachment to other people that feel bad about the situation. This is a bad crime that should have got a lot more national publicity than it did, because this is as wild as it gets. And it's for him to do this, like it's not his first time, that says a lot about the way society is. For a regular person, mentally ill or not, to take somebody's life without self-reflecting on that, like, man, I just killed somebody. And just to go right from plan A to plan B, or step 1 to step 2, dismembering and then carrying, man, do you know how tedious and how horrible a person you got to be to even endure that? And he did all this by himself. Then dropped her off in different places, a public park, side of a river, or whatever it is. Strategic. Why is he still breathing? He need to be taken outside right now. And the family that's all able-bodied need to chop him up with axes right there. The punishment should fit the crime. Don't matter what color it is. Because everything that he did was messed up. This is BS at its finest, man. The justice system sometimes, just like certain things. Oh, he faces life in jail. What? For chopping up a woman, killing and chopping a woman up? Come on, man. Come on. They need to universalize the justice system in every state. And it should no longer be life in prison. It should be the death penalty. And it ain't no long wait for the governor to come and call you on the phone that never fucking rings, and a bunch of people stand outside saying, get rid of the death penalty. Good, y'all can take the front row seat and see all of the atrocities in the court case and all the crime scene photos of what this man did, and then make you come up with that Stop the death penalty. Because it wasn't your baby that was killed. So all that kumbaya and all that bullshit and trying to be an advocate to stop people from getting killed that kill people in society, shut your fucking mouths. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Remember I said, extreme crimes need extreme punishments. And that's real. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.